so I'm gonna try recording this again. It seems like every time I try to record something from Facebook Live, it makes it scramble like I'm in the Matrix. So I'm gonna try it on here. I'm here at one of my favorite coffee shops. I've been coming here since I was about 14 or 15 years old. I want to talk about what makes a truly great teacher. And the reason I chose this location is because for me, this has been a great teacher. This is somewhere that I come for self-reflection. This is somewhere I come um, to process whatever I'm going through at any given time. I've come here, I've brought many friends and family members over the years. I baked Lucas in my belly oven while I was here. He's been coming here since he was in my belly. And I have to say, though, the vast majority of the times I've come here have been by myself because this is a place where I come to unwind. This is a place I come to get rooted with the earth. This is a beautiful place, as you can see, very, very, very cool. Like I said, it's called Greenhouse Effect. If you ever, for those of you who are not from Utah, if you get a chance to come here, please come give Maria some love and try her rice pudding. This has also been a great teacher for me over the years, this rice pudding. But I just want to talk a little bit about the true definition of a good teacher, because I think often it gets kind of portrayed as though what makes a really great teacher is someone who teaches someone how to obey really well. The most obedient people are the most well taught, but that's not been my experience. I just want to share what I feel like my experience is, because when it came to academic aspects of things, schooling was, I could go do the classes, I could get the A's, I could do really well on my tests and things like that. But there were classes I loved and there were classes I hated, and that had to do very much with the environment created by the teacher. If I had a teacher where I felt like I was really allowed to grow in that class and I was encouraged to grow, I loved going to those classes. And if I felt like I was just restricted and had to follow everything by the rules, I mean, I could do those classes. I didn't like them very much. They felt contrary to my being. So I want to talk right now about two teachers that I had in high school in particular, because in regards to polarity, they were polar opposites, and yet to me they were heroes because they changed my high school experience. One of them was probably the biggest hippie you could ever expect to have as a teacher. He taught all of these classes that were about open-minded thinking. Sociology was one of my favorite that he taught, and he taught a community of caring class, which encouraged people as a part of their school credit to go do service in the community. So that was really, really wonderful. I looked for opportunities to take classes from him because I felt like I was not only able to go and learn and get a grade and do what I was supposed to in that regard and feel validated by, I'm doing a good job, but that way, but I also was encouraged to grow into the best person I could be. And so that was a great experience for me. And on the polar end of the spectrum, one of the teachers that had the strongest impact on me when I was in high school happened to be a seminary teacher. For those of you who are not from Utah or not familiar with the Mormon way of doing things, seminary is a class that is a religious structured class that is, by regards of the state, it is an optional class. A lot of parents don't consider it optional for their students, but it is an optional class. And I was at the time I was in the process of kind of losing my religion and determining what parts I believed in and what parts I didn't. And he came in the nick of time for someone that would take me seriously, because I wasn't just trying to leave the church. I wasn't rebelling or anything. I needed someone who would answer my questions. And so I would go to class, and he would encourage me to read a certain book, and I'd go home and I'd read it, and I'd come back and I'd say, well, what about this one? And I'd ask him to read a book, and he'd come back and we'd talk about it. As the first time I ever felt truly, truly taken seriously by someone who I considered to be like an authority figure within the organization that I was growing up in. I know that when parent-teacher conferences came along, my parents were just dreading the possibility of walking up to his table, and were shocked to find that I was one of his favorite students he'd ever had. And he just was thrilled by me. And they said, oh, this is great. This means she's probably going to come back to the church. And he goes, oh, no, that's not what I said. She's not coming back to the church. I said, she's awesome and everything. So it was awesome that I felt also respected by him, even though he recognized the authentic aspect of who I was and not who he wanted me to be either. So these were teachers who helped me to grow into the best version of myself that I could possibly become. At this time, I know that a lot of you have been really shocked to hear that Jamie and I are getting divorced. And so I just want to address that really quickly because he really truly is one of the greatest teachers I've ever had. And I know I'm one of the greatest ones that he's ever had. And I know that it's confusing to people that we're not fighting. I know that it's confusing to people that we're still the fact we are metal. Friendship is the aspect that we this time. When he met me, world record book of best. Um, the last thing that I really want to honor is my ultimate best I've ever years old, and he is my tiny human Lucas. Since the day I met him, I suddenly my life changed. I suddenly realized that this person